Right, so it seems like we're really getting to that time of the year again, because over the past week or so, as I've been scrolling down TikTok, I have seen many videos talking about wedding drama. And the situation we're talking about today is regarding a wedding videographer who is being called out for not providing these newly married couples their videos, even after being paid. And it looks like, unless something changes, this is going to have to go down the legal route to actually get this resolved. Now, before we get into all of that, if you remember, about a year ago at this point, we were raising money for Encephalitis International. Encephalitis being an inflammation of the brain that can cause severe long-term brain damage, can also cause death, and it's something that really doesn't get talked about. In fact, I hadn't even heard of it until about 2 years ago now, where one of my best friends actually passed away. Now, last year we hosted a charity football game in Danny's memory and raising money for Encephalitis International. We ended up raising over £16,000, I believe that's about $20,000. The charity and Danny's family were completely blown away when they saw these donations coming through from you guys, from different parts of the world. They couldn't believe it and they were extremely thankful. It was crazy to see the support and I'm very appreciative of that. Which brings me on to the fact that this year we are hosting another charity football match in hopes to raise money for Encephalitis International. Like I said, encephalitis doesn't get talked about enough, especially with how devastating it can be. If you do have the money to spare and you want to support an incredible cause, the link is going to be in the description and yeah, thank you. But now let's get into today's topic. So there's two main people you need to be aware of. The first one being Callie Stillman Foot, I believe that's pronounced. The second person being Dylan, or Winding Way FP. Dylan is a wedding videographer who was supposed to be filming Callie's wedding, and did film Callie's wedding. That actually wasn't the issue here. The issue is actually being getting the footage.
I don't even know how to start this story time because I can't believe I actually have to make it, and hopefully I don't get upset because right now I'm really just pissed. But my wedding videographer ghosted me, and I don't have a completed wedding video.
Now, unfortunately, this seems to be a lot more common than you would expect. I mean, we have spoke about very similar topics before. And it's not like this wedding only happened like a couple of months ago. Callie then goes on to say that this has been about a year now.
Mind you, my wedding was in August of 2024. So it is now going to be coming up on a year since my wedding. I don't even know how to explain this. I'm definitely gonna have to do this in parts, but I'll try and summarize this as quickly as I can. I didn't think I was gonna be able to spend the money on a videographer, and I decided that I just need to go for it because I really wanted to prioritizing photos and videos of my wedding. All I wanted was to have these memories of all the people I love at the best day of my life. And so I committed to it. I found a videographer who had just done someone I know's wedding and it looked beautiful. I was very picky with my vendors. I had a vision. I wanted to stick to it. If I was going to spend the money, it was going to be exactly what I wanted.
Okay, so everything seems normal at this point, right? She wants to capture her wedding, so she finds a videographer who actually filmed a person's wedding that she was aware of, so she has seen this person's work. She knows someone who actually worked with this person before. Everything seemed fine. Callie then goes on to explain that she actually paid more for the larger package and then talks about what you get with that package.
I bought a larger package, so I should have had a full, almost 20-minute long video, full raw footage of my vows. I should have had a highlight video for social media because I was really looking forward to featuring all my vendors and all these people, including the videographer, on my social media. And the highlight video was supposed to be like immediately after the wedding so that I could post it while I waited for the full video. Full video was supposed to be like a couple months after the wedding. I had to beg over email time and time again to get anything from my video and did not receive anything until I believe it was January or February.
So Callie has received some video here, right? We're talking about like this highlights video that's supposed to be pretty much like immediately after the wedding, a couple months later for the full video. Callie did end up receiving something, but it wasn't what she expected. It had a bunch of issues with it, so Callie requested some edits.
And what I received was not 20 minutes long, had music over it that I had never even been asked about. I was assuming that we would use music that I probably used for my wedding, either me walking down the aisle, my first dance, anything. Was never asked about it, so random music put over it. There's 2 camera angles during my vows. So you would think there's always a good angle. Like if my photographer's in the way of one shot, you would use the other camera. There's like 30 seconds of my photographer standing directly in front of the camera, and you cannot see me or my husband during our ceremony. We're missing, I dedicated a dance to my deceased father, and that was one of the most important moments of the day for me, and I said that. Not a single second of it is in there.
Now, after Callie requested these edits, she is told by the videographer that he's going through some personal issues right now, so Callie says, take your time.
So, after I finally received that video, I watched it, and I was kind of disappointed, but I was trying to stay positive, because I really didn't want a crazy, detailed video. I then sent him, like, my edits, and he had said when he sent the video, he said that he wanted to add some more video to it, he might want to make some more edits. And at the time, he told me he was going through a divorce with his wife, which is horrible. I mean, I literally cried for this vendor. And I told him to take all the time he needed because I know he also has children, and that is terrible to go through. And I pray to God that he was not making that up as a story as to why he was late delivering.
And then finally we hear some more issues with the video, like parts of the video just had like a big error message on the screen, and Callie actually says that that was the last time she ended up speaking to Dylan. Ever since this conversation, Callie says that she has been ghosted and received nothing.
But I told him to take all the time he needed, at least I had some kind of video to watch. There's also an error message across the entire screen in like bright blue at 2 different points, including my first dance during the video. He told me he would also deliver the highlight video the next day. Never received that. And since that day, that was the last time I ever had contact with him. So I haven't spoken to him since January, February when I got my not completed video. I now discovered last night via Facebook when I was trying to look him up, because I'm now trying to harass him through email, trying to track down his phone number to try and get a hold of him. And I see on Facebook that he is doing this to all of his weddings from last year.
So Callie does say in the future video that she has spoke to 4 other couples that haven't received anything, which of course just makes the whole situation worse, because this is thousands of dollars that people have paid for these videos and not received them. Callie says that she paid about $3,200, so if we're just kind of assuming that everyone paid the same amount, which I don't think that'll be the case, right? Callie did say she got the larger package. I don't know what the other prices are, but we can probably assume, and this is just a guess, but we can probably assume that it's over $10,000 at this point, right? And people aren't receiving their videos. Now, we do have a bit of a response from Dylan in just a second, and we'll get to that. A little bit of a spoiler. He is basically saying that everything has been resolved. He spoke to all of the brides and grooms, and it's all fixed. But Callie is saying that that isn't true, and in fact, the 4 other couples that she spoke to, Callie is saying, also haven't had any communication with Dylan. And things get even worse when you look in the comment section of this video, and you see comments like this one saying, "Girl, he's my videographer for my wedding this August. I'm freaking out." I mean, can you imagine just scrolling down TikTok one day and your wedding's coming up, you're very excited about it, maybe you're watching a bunch of like wedding content on TikTok, and then you come across a video of someone talking about this like nightmare wedding videographer situation, just to find out that they're actually talking about the videographer you've already hired. I mean, yeah, the comment says I'm freaking out. I don't blame them. Now, Callie actually did reply to this comment saying, "No, you absolutely have to cancel ASAP and get back anything you can. He has been blocking all of us and made his business temporarily closed on Google." Dina, the original commenter, said, "Girl, please message me." Then there's another comment here saying, "Cancel him immediately. I had him booked for June." Dina said, "Oh, I did this morning. Wouldn't refund me either," which... yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, right? Because it's a deposit. If you cancel, you don't get your deposit back, which is a shame considering the reasons why she had to cancel. Yeah, I feel like that was probably always going to happen at that point. I mean, as much as it's a shitty situation for Dina, it's better than actually paying him the full amount and then not having another videographer at your wedding and not receiving a video. There's also other comments like this one saying, "Wedding cinematographer here. First of all, so sorry this happened to you, but at the sound of it, it seems like the memory card may have corrupted, explaining why you see error messages and missing clips." Now, obviously, if this is the case, that kind of is like worst case scenario, right? Because if the memory card's corrupted, it's going to be very hard to get that footage either way. A lot of new cameras actually have 2 SD card slots for this reason, in case like one of them does get corrupted. But hopefully it's obviously not this, and it is maybe like an editing error is what I assumed. Callie replies this saying, it says basically something about format not being correct, but goes away after like 25 seconds and appears twice throughout the video. I'll have to go back to reread it. To me, it sounds like an error with the export because of the video editing software and something has been done correctly. Hopefully it's an easy fix, because like I said, if it's an SD card that has corrupted, that is worst case scenario. When Callie said it was like a blue error, I thought it was this, for example, new frames need analyzing, click analyze. This is like an error that's kind of common on Premiere Pro. Maybe it's not. Now, Callie has uploaded a few more videos kind of giving updates throughout this. The only issue is the second part, like the second video that's been uploaded, has no audio. I think this is an issue with TikTok. If like there's a song used in the background that later isn't allowed, they just mute the whole video rather than just removing the whole song. So this is part 2 here. We can watch the video, but we can't listen to it. We don't know what is being said, and there's not really anything that really pops up on screen throughout it. But we do have a couple more videos to get through, and the next video is actually the response from Dylan.
Love this girl, because I'm blocked on everything, obviously, and so are all of the other brides that he supposedly got a hold of. But I'll get into that in a second. This lovely girl right here sent me the comments that he made a post about, saying apparently he handled everything with everybody, which would be the couples that I've been talking about, including myself. And I'm telling a big old lie, even though I have proof of everything. And I'm being dramatic.
Now, unfortunately, we can't see the specific comments because, as we can see here, Callie's commented saying someone posted on his personal Facebook and they went back and forth in the comments. So it's on his personal Facebook. I haven't actually seen the comments. But as we just heard, Dylan's response is apparently that everything has been resolved and Callie is a big old liar. Now, Callie's response to this is basically, why would she be doing the stuff that she's doing, like making a video, getting in contact with other couples that also have went through a very similar experience, if she didn't have all the proof to back it up?
One, why would I ever make this video or any of these videos or try and help any of the couples like me if A, I didn't have proof, B, I didn't have a contract, and C, that legal contract wasn't met and I still haven't gotten any contact? I would love to have been able to just talk this out, but if I can't get a hold of you and it's almost coming up on my year anniversary of my wedding and I haven't had my contract fulfilled, what am I supposed to do?
Yes, we don't personally see a lot of the proof that Callie is talking about throughout these videos, but one thing that definitely doesn't look good for Dylan's side, well, it's a couple of things, right? I mean, yes, if you Google the company, it does say temporarily closed, but what's a lot more damning than that is the reviews on the company. So bear in mind, these reviews are before Callie posted anything on TikTok, and this is what they had to say. My husband and I hired Dylan to videograph our wedding on October 2024. Since that day, we have been ghosted. Zero communication. We have tried texts, phone calls, personal and professional Facebook pages with no response. Dylan is extremely unprofessional, has taken away the most important keepsakes of the best day of our lives. I highly discourage anyone from booking with him. Dylan is the worst videographer. We got married in August of 2024 and have completely been ghosted with no video. We are devastated. That was the best day of our lives. From our private vows to the first look with my son, we've tried reaching out on everything. We just want our video of our special day. My husband and I got married October 2024. After multiple attempts to reach out to Dylan and threatening a lawyer, he finally sent us some video footage. We received our raw footage and a highlight video, although we were promised a 20-minute video of our day, to which we never received. Dylan was unreachable for several months amid promises he could not keep. So yeah, I mean, this review in particular has a lot of similarities to Callie's story, right? Talking about how they were promised a 20-minute video. That's what Callie said. They never received a 20-minute video. And Maddie, who actually left this review, is saying that she only received anything after threatening a lawyer. So yeah, I mean, when you bear in mind Callie's video and then bear in mind the reviews that we've just read, it doesn't look good, does it? Now, going back to Callie's video, she goes on to say that the couples that she's been speaking to, 4 different couples, haven't been in contact with Dylan.
I was ghosted for months and I sent several emails because that is the way that we fully communicated. And I'm not going to contact someone's personal phone, blowing up their phone, like when I know they have a family and whatever, even if I'm annoyed. And I never got a single response. Now I know that other people haven't gotten any responses. And I also know now, after seeing the posts that he made, he has not contacted any of these couples. All these couples are still contacting me.
Yeah, so obviously what we heard earlier was that Dylan was saying that he's going through some personal stuff right now with a divorce. To be fair, looking at the reviews on Google, a lot of the negative ones are within the past few months, right? Which could line up to the fact that Dylan is going through some stuff recently, and that might be the reason why he hasn't been getting as much work done. Which is obviously horrible. You don't wish for anyone to be going through stuff like that. But at the end of the day, these are people that have paid for a service thousands of dollars. Again, like if we're talking that there's 4 couples, 5 couples, whatever it could be over $10,000 in total, but each individual couple paying thousands of dollars themselves as well. And it's all revolving around potentially the best day of their lives, right? That they should be getting these videos back. You can see exactly why they would be so extremely frustrated with the fact that they haven't received anything back. So I really hope it does get resolved eventually. Obviously, we heard like a corrupted SD card earlier. I don't think that's the case, unless like Dylan didn't transfer the footage like after each wedding and just piled all the footage up onto one SD card and then that SD card corrupted. I can't see how that would be the case though. I would assume that he would transfer the footage after the wedding is complete. So because there are multiple weddings here that have all had a very similar experience, I don't think it is anything to do with just like one SD card. I would assume the footage is there, it's just not being sent over. So now going on to the most recent video that Callie uploaded, which was 5 days ago as I'm recording this right now. Callie basically says that she can't afford a lawsuit, and obviously there's small claims court, but Callie says in her area, it can only be for an amount up to $3,000. Callie paid more than that. So I think she's just trying to like weigh up her options to see what is actually the best way to go about this.
And currently, I don't have the extra money to do like a full like actual lawsuit, which I would love to do because I feel like a lot of us deserve that. And if you do small claims court, it depends on like your county even, but I think where I'm at, you can only go after him for up to like $3,000. I'm pretty sure I paid $32,000. So I want to get my full money back. Whatever, that's besides the point. If I could get $3,000 back, that would be amazing. If I could get anything, my video. All I want is my raw video. But that's besides the point.
So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here. I mean, obviously the best outcome in this is that the videos get sent to all the couples that are waiting for their videos. If that doesn't happen, it seems like it might potentially get taken further. Obviously, if the couples kind of like work together to take this further legally and put money into it like together, that might be a better route for them. Who knows what's going to happen here? But either way, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video, and I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy, please do leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new. Also, if you're interested in some other content, me and Emily have a channel where we play games, react to reality shows, stuff like that. So if any of that interests you, that's always linked in the description. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.